Welcome to Rockmont, a place of challenge and adventure and friendship where a young man's roots can grow deep. He can bring his story from wherever he's coming from, and he can come alive with that at Rockmont, through engaging in activities and new friendships and a bigger story than his own. Opening day is exciting. Parents and campers are all feeling a lot of emotions that day. There's a lot of excitement because they know it's going to be fun. They know there's going to be adventure and challenge. They know new friends are on the way.
You get to see this moment where they meet their counselors for the first time. They see where they're going to be sleeping, where they're going to be eating, just kind of the confidence that even comes from that.
When you drive up to camp on opening day, you sense this anticipation and feeling of excitement because these counselors have been waiting for your child to come. So when you go to check in at the cabin, they pull that child in, they look him straight in the eye, and they welcome him and make him feel safe and ready to leave their parents.
I was pretty nervous because I've never been away from my parents for 2 weeks. And it's just, everything about Camp Rockmont feels like I'm at home.
Even for a 5-year camper, it's new that year. Parents are excited and doing their own good work of that letting go and that great expectation that happens in the moment.
Parents are able to leave on opening day knowing that they can trust us, that we are ready for their sons, that we are excited about all that we have. Camp is incredibly fun. They'll be able to see that from the moment that they're dropped off. When they look at the waterfront and they meet their counselor, they will know that camp is fun. They'll also know that camp is very safe for them. They'll be able to see it with the lifeguards on their stands and just with the intentionality that the counselors speak to their campers with. And they'll also know that every camper counts, that the counselors know the camper's name, they know where they're from. They've been expecting them here to arrive at camp.
We've got a wide variety of skills here at Camp Rockmont, over 30 skills that the campers can choose from. Everything from your more traditional camp skills like archery and trap shooting to some more unusual skills like fly tying and blacksmithing and ceramics.
The skills offer so many opportunities for campers that they just can't experience anywhere else.
All the skills in this important puzzle piece teach different things, different skills that guys are going to need their whole life. The sports teach teamwork and how to work together for a common goal. Things like blacksmithing and kayaking teach kind of a technical, go for it, doing things right, a tenacity that gets you to the next thing. All our crafts and rocketry teach a beautiful creativity because we want our young men in their lives to create more than they consume.
I took homesteading, crafts, soccer, and field sports. For homesteading, you get to learn to cook, what plants grow where, how to grow them, how to pick them, how to harvest.
Campers are able to select the skills that they want to learn more about, and we bring in members from the community that are experts in what they do. It's just great to see kids that go to a new activity, something that they've never done before, and they can see how it's inspired someone older than them.
We think of every encounter as being part of how we do faith at Rockmont. Every friendship, the way we share our meals together, the way we do skills.
I think Rockmont really gets campers into the biblical story. They're able to discover the story, to read God's story, but also to see how they fit into that, to hear how others fit into that, how it's this bigger story that's also being told.
A lot easier at Rockmont because you're completely surrounded by people who are just willing to help you and talk to you about any questions you have about faith.
We end each day with devotions. Really critical to us that we're telling a common story for these young men, a story that they can see their lives a part of. Each devotion is ended with 2 questions. Where do you see yourself in the story, and what's the good news? With those questions, the guys come alive.
When we have devotion at nights, when they talk about God, it just makes me feel good. God is always with you no matter how small you are. It's what God sees on the inside.
Love being patient and kind and not arrogant or rude. You learn all of these character qualities at Rockmont, and so in addition to learning the words of Scripture, the words and teachings of Christ, you also learn how to put those things into practice day to day.
Well, I would love evening watch. That's probably my favorite time to learn about God, especially because they have all the songs and stuff.
One of the more unique times at Camp Rockmont is Council Ring.
It's this time carved away for guys to go up on the mountain and do something that they know is going to be sacred.
They gather together as brothers, and the campers are recognized for marks that they're showing, marks of improvement. In Deer Camp, we specifically use the marks of a godly man.
I left my mark on this place by rejecting passivity,
by accepting responsibility,
by leading courageously,
by trusting God.
When they hear the drums on their walk up to council, when they see the fire being lit, when they see the songs and the games that are being played up at council, they are excited to see those things for their very first time.
I remember walking into Council Ring for the first time myself at 8 years old and just being kind of blown away with the mystery of this experience.
I learned to trust in God. I learned that big things can come from really little things. And I learned that just to be trusting God, anything is possible.
One of the reasons that Camp Rockmont is such fertile ground for spiritual growth is we've just got incredible staff. Staff that is excited about the biblical story and excited about the relationship with God. The campers see that and want to learn more.
I really love what we're doing with these boys. I love the message that we're sending them. I love the manner in which we're encouraging them to grow.
Rockmont is a great place for growth. One of the reasons why campers seem to grow so much here is they're surrounded by a staff who are intentionally focused on them and trying to help challenge them and teach them how to grow.
You couldn't ask for better counselors. It's just, they help you, they get involved in everything, they help you.
It's been really cool to get to facilitate growth in others as well, not just to be the one growing, but also help others grow.
I remember the counselors that I had very well, Jay Collins, Trip Hughes, Stan Wilson. These were guys that gave me a vision for what it's like to be a godly man.
We pick guys who have a sense of their life not being all about them, but that they are about life.
Tribal activities are really special in that they require the campers to interact together, and they really have to cooperate with each other to come up with skills and strategies in order to meet some common goal.
Campers love tribal activities because of all the excitement and energy around that. So they get to paint up, they get to run, they get to fully enter a story.
They're running all over the place, they're trying to accomplish a mission, and they're working in teams, they're going solo, they're hiding through the woods.
With all the many exciting things about a tribal activity, I think one of the big ingredients is there's so much room for a guy to roam in these great games. The great gladiator games, the capture the flag, the risk games.
I like how some of the games are camp-wide, so just so you can roam free.
There's this wonderful, organized, strategic free-for-all that makes guys come alive.
They're able to just go out there, run as hard as they can, scream and laugh, and just have a ball. It's really a neat thing to watch.
The Circle of the Hero's journey starts off in a stage called conventional slumber, where there's not much happening in a young man's life. And then he answers a call to adventure and goes out and masters a new skill, learns something that's difficult, something that's challenging for him to do.
The last stage of the hero's journey is return and contribution. When we send our campers home, our big goal is that they know they have a gift to give, and we want them to share it with everybody they come in contact with.
Counselor greeted him and said, "Are you ready for the best 2 weeks of your life?" He said, "I believe I am." And he came back and said, "It really was the best 2 weeks of my life."
I could just see it in his expression and the way that he greeted us, just how he had grown just as a boy.
Rockmont isn't a place you go to get away from home. It's a place you go to be home.
We can shape but can't control these possibilities to grow. Reeds amongst the push and pull, waiting on the wind to take us. We can write with ink and pen, but we will sow with seeds instead, starting with
really understand what it means to be a boy, and they let boys be boys.
There are a lot of great people here. The counselors are great. The food's really good.
I have appreciated camp because I've seen the training with the counselors. I've seen the growth in the boys. Hoyt has come home from camp being so much more independent. He participates in dinner time saying blessings in ways that are much fuller.
Rockmont is definitely one of those once-in-a-lifetime experiences that I highly encourage every boy and young man to come be part of their life.
There's no place that I feel more loved and welcomed and cared for and valued than here at Camp Rockmont.